All right, and welcome back to Awfully Silly, the finale run. And we have a very special guest here for our final run. Conception, how are you? Well, I'm doing good. How are you? Oh, well, I'm pretty good. Thanks for asking. So why Cartoon Summer Resort? Well, it's a pretty great game, and I think more people should play it for sure. You know, I agree, and I think it's about time we show it off. I just want to remind everyone, of course, though, that your subs, your gift subs, your Prime Gaming subs, and bits help support this weekly hotfix content, like me talking to myself. So please consider supporting our daily content, which starts at most days at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, you can come on over to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick if you're interested in looking at our live content. So come on over. But yeah, I think it's about time. I'm going to throw it to Conception. Go ahead and take it away, Conception. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, my name is Conception. You might have seen me. I run my own show here on the Games Done Quick channel from time to time, and this game is called Cartoon Summer Resort. Now, if you're not familiar with what this game is, it is a Flash Shockwave game from the year 2000 that was featured on the Cartoon Network's website. So it is a website game. Luckily for us, it's been preserved. And I'll go into a little bit about what that means in a few minutes. But for now, we're going to get started. Now, two things before we do this, actually. I almost forgot. One, if you're not hearing audio, that is fine. This game is, because it's a Flash Shockwave game, does not function like a lot of other games. So I cannot split the audio. So it was either I have every piece of audio from my computer or none. So we're going to go with none. But you're not missing anything because all it does is play the same song on loop. So don't worry about that. And two, this game has 4 levels. Each time we go into the next level, the screen is going to come off for about a second, and then it'll come back on. But don't worry, that is intended, I guess. Without further ado, let's get started. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Cartoon Summer Resort, what is it? So as I mentioned, a website game from the Cartoon Network website, but the goal is we're going to play as all these different abstract characters from Cartoon Network at that time, all of which I don't know, they might have either been created for the game or they were created that summer as like little mini mascots, but you're going to see all over these games a lot of Cartoon Network characters from that time, especially some Powerpuff Girls characters we just saw featured in Chemical Extraction right before this. So what's our goal? Actually, we got some good RNG there. We have to collect chicken from Cow and Chicken, and he could be anywhere in that top part of the screen, but he was in a pretty favorable location, so thanks, Chicken. But what do? So we are on a summer resort. Basically, the premise is, all these cartoon characters, they're taking the summer off. They're getting a nice little break, right? But, of course, it wouldn't be a cartoon resort unless there were some hijinks abound, and essentially each episode of this game has a solve an issue that's happening on the island. So, for example, this first level is our pool's down. We got to fix the pool. So we gotta talk to all these characters and do some quick trading and stuff like that in order to get all of the tools that we need to fix the pool. So what do we need? We need a wrench, of course. We also are going to need 5 different things to plug the various holes in the pipes. In that way, the pool pump will work, and then we can all enjoy some nice pool time. All right. Oops, a little too far there. I wish you could hear it. So the sound, it's the same looping song all over again, so you're not missing much there. But whenever you bonk in this game, like if you hit a wall, you really bonk, and you really feel it because it's super loud. It's like a comically large bonk. So I'll try to sound them out whenever they happen so that you don't miss out on that experience. But we're already almost getting through episode 1 here. Here is one of the biggest points of RNG in the entire run, which is called ducks, because they're ducks. Really good RNG, though. We need to slide in here, and we can get out pretty quickly, so that was actually pretty good. Not too bad. But basically, the ducks can just be in your way, blocking you from getting that wrench. But here we are, and episode 1 is going to be ending here now. Oop, almost missed that last click. All right, so the screen will disappear as soon as we see the clear screen. Disappear for a second, but it should come right back on. Don't worry about that. And here we are in episode 2. We're playing as somebody named Longhair. The first character we played out was somebody named Uncle Gus. I think I remember vaguely at the time that there was like, I don't know, like little in-between show kind of shorts that come on Cartoon Network that kind of featured these characters that you play as. But I don't exactly remember. It was a long time ago. I may look young, but I am indeed at least a little bit old. So that is just how it goes. But here we are in episode 2. Now, episode 2 is called Tennis Menace. What happens is our good pal Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory built a tennis robot for people to use on the resort so that they can play tennis against a robot. You know, it's kind of like it serves the balls at you and stuff. But as you might imagine, it got a little bit out of hand, and now the tennis robot is wreaking havoc, and we got to fix that. So we're going to be doing that, and you'll notice that it's very similar to what we have to do in episode 1, which is we need something that gets us in there, and then we need 5 things to circumvent the problem. That's kind of the general format of each episode. Now, that being said, I'll get into it a little bit. But episode 3, we're not going to play quite as intended. You might think this is a silly website game, but I promise you, it's got at least one glitch. So you'll have to look forward to that. All I'm doing here, by the way, is I'm skipping all of their dialogue and just getting what I need to do, the fastest possible items that I can use to solve the issue. Now, each level usually will provide multiple items that you can use to solve the issue. So it's all about trying to solve it in a way that's, as fast as possible. So it's all in the optimized routing. Little bonk there. Bonk, bonk. This is Johnny Bravo's house. And what does he have? A fake mustache? Because of course he does. All right. Can't get down there. All right. So we're about halfway through episode 2. Episode 2 has another unfortunate piece of RNG, which takes the form of crabs. We're going to get into that a little bit in a second here while we're getting the sunglasses. But basically what the crabs do is once we see the crabs, they each have their own individual warp point that if you touch a crab, it will warp you to that point. And obviously we do not want to hit a crab and warp away when we need to grab something in that area. So we're going to be doing our best to dodge the crabs. Now, it's actually decently easy to do because as long as you're not moving, a crab cannot hit you. But if we're trying to be a little bit speedy, we got to kind of combine those two things, right? So we're gonna be playing it a little close to the chest, but not that close. All right, we're good. Now there's still one more crab dodge, but that was pretty good. Not too bad for the crabs. And the reason why we want to take that crab warp specifically is it warps us right down here to where turnip is, which is the last object that we need. The second to last being a suit of armor, because we cannot go into the tennis courts getting pummeled by tennis balls without a little suit of armor, right? So all we have to do for episode 2 here is cross our way all the way to the tennis court. Unfortunately, we do need the turnip, but unfortunately, it is in the bottom right corner of the map, and the tennis court is in the top left. So we quite literally have to go as far as we possibly would need to in order to get to the tennis court. So that is the downside, but it's faster still than having to fight off the crabs, I think, because then you're leaving RNG in the hands of the game, and we don't want to do that. But here we are. We're going to be going up here, and here's Dexter. He's going to let us in now that he has a suit of armor. You can see him in there. All right, and that's the end of episode 2. Just need to wait for that clearance screen until we get to episode 3. Episode 3 is actually probably my favorite one to play casually. But it is the one that we do the most skipping in. So what you're meant to do is, this is called Vivian versus the Volcano. We're playing Vivian, who's a cat here. And what you're meant to do is we need to rescue a bunch of these animals from the volcano island, and you're meant to find characters on the island that pair well with those animals, and then give them the animals for them to look after. In addition to that, Courage the Cowardly Dog is also trapped inside the volcano. The volcano has 5 gates that you need a key for each gate, the key of which is given to you by the animal when you find its proper pair. So little tricky. So we need to find these 5 keys, except we don't need to find any of them. And I'm going to show you exactly why right now. I think I'm a little far over. There we go. So if you just very carefully walk through the wall there, Easy peasy. We can hit a warp point and skip through all 5 gates. And then it all just becomes circumventing this maze, which is actually harder than you think it is, considering how easy it is to bonk. And also how easy it is to hit portals through the wall that you're not intending. So a little bit harder than you might think, but not too bad. All right, waiting for the clear screen. All right, and episode 4. Now, episode 4 is called Disco Dilemma. Basically, what it is, it's the end of the year party, and it's going to be disco themed. Of course, it is. So we need to get out here and get everyone paired up so they can dance together on the disco. Again, a little easier said than done, but not too complex if you played this game once or twice. Now, I see some people in the chat wondering, how could we possibly, how could we play this game in today's environment, right? Because it was on the Cartoon Network website. How is it possible that we can still play this game? Well, luckily enough for us, there is a program. And the program is called Flashpoint. It was developed by somebody named Blue Maxima, and basically what it is a Flash and Shockwave games preservation program. So basically pulled coding from all these websites in order for them to be able to preserve these games so that they are not lost to the technology. Because as you might know or might not know, Shockwave and Flash Player are no longer supported in today's computers. So you can't. It's not like you could go on a website and play them. You don't have the ability to do that anymore. So we use Flashpoint, who saved the coding of this game and made it so, Buttercup, and made it so that we can now play these games again. Just go ahead and search Flashpoint. You should be able to find that pretty easy. Flashpoint by Blue Maxima is an easy way to do that. Episode 4 is is episode 4 the longest or is episode 2? Either way, they're all pretty long, and episode 4 has a lot of moving parts because it's not only knowing, having to collect the 5 things like we had with every other level, but it's knowing where those 5 things have to go. It amps it up a little bit because you have to know, you can't just place anyone with any partner, basically. But what we're going to do is we're going to collect all these objects. Oops. And then we are going to pair them. Oop, there's a crab. There we go. We're fine. Every crab warps you, even in this level. So, and we're going to pair them with their proper mate, basically. So first we have to convince them all to go because none of them want to go. They're all scared or, for various reasons they don't want to go. So first we get a wig for courage so that he feels a little bit more confident in going. So that's 1. We needed 4 more. Oops. On our way down here, we're going to grab the mayor of Townsville's lunchbox, because who doesn't want a little lunch, midday siesta, right? So we're going to grab here, and then on our way down, we're actually going to talk to Chicken here as well. We can actually kind of grab him through the wall a little bit. So that's 2 of the 5 people we need. We need to grab 1 more supplementary item in the hotel here. From Big Red guy. I always call him Big Red, but I don't think that's his name. It gives us some shoes that we need, some platform shoes. Head on over to the Mayor of Townsville, give him his lunch so that we can get his fancy leisure suit and that we can give to IR Baboon. I hope these names are sparking a lot of memories for people in case they hadn't heard them in a long time. Names like IR Baboon, Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo, and Susie. All these old cartoons that kind of feel a little bit lost to time, but it's good to remember them from time and time again. So we get IR Baboon. That's number 3. We got two more gents we need to grab here. The last two gents are Ed from Ed, and Eddie, Double D specifically, if you're wondering, and Dexter from Dexter's Lab. Eustace, I believe is his name, from Cow and Chicken. Nope, not Cow and Chicken. Courage the Cowardly Dog gives us the shark tooth necklace that gives Double D his confidence to hit the dance floor. And we have one last person to grab here. And let's see who it's going to be. Spoiler alert, I already said it. It's Dexter. He just needs some platform shoes to feel a little bit taller. And we're actually ramping up right to the end of the run here. So time is going to be coming up pretty soon. Oops. And it's the controls, it's so easy to get stuck on stuff like the info booth. And you just hit the same screen over and over again. Okay. So here we go. We just have to match properly. which again, it doesn't change. So it's not very hard to remember. And time is coming up. And time. There it is. Ooh, sub 13, at least on my end as well. So that's a pretty good run. So yeah, that was Cartoon Summer Resort. It's a fun game. It's such a nostalgic piece for a lot of people that I find. So if you're interested in running it, we don't have like a Discord server or anything. Weirdly, the community is not large. It's basically me and one or two other runners over time. But if you're interested and want to learn not only how to play this game still, but learn the speedruns and the strategies behind it, feel free to hit me up. My name is Conception. I've been your host for Awfully Silly, but you can find me twitch.tv/Conception, twitter.com/ConceptionSR. You can also find me on YouTube. But yeah, and you can also go to speedrun.com/CCSR to see all the records and strats. We have individual records for each level as well as all episodes, which is what we saw here. So pretty good. That, for reference, that was on my end, a 12:57. World record is about a little less than 20 seconds slower than that. So we did pretty good. We did pretty good. No complaints on my end. But yeah, that is not only the end of this run, but it is the end of Awfully Silly. As quickly as it came, we are right back here at the end again. I want to thank everyone for watching. If you are interested in Awfully Silly, usually we are every 2 weeks on Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern. However, if you're counting at home, next Monday that this show would be on, which would be, I believe, the 27th, we will not be doing an episode of Awfully Silly because Summer Games Done Quick 2022 will be airing instead. So feel free to come on over twitch.tv/Games Done Quick, right where you already are. And SGDQ will be June 26th through July 3rd. So feel free to come on by. Other than that, I think it's about time we wrap this show up, and stay tuned because right after this, we have That's Never Happened Before, a show that features glitch breakdowns, and they're going to be doing Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door today. So it's going to be really exciting. Everyone stick around. But yeah, thanks so much, and we'll see you after GDQ. Bye, everyone.